Okay, 1 second. And, all right. All righty. So why don't we start with some good news? Should I hold my screen again? So why don't we share something? How about Angela? We'll start with you because I think you have a big anniversary today.
Yes, I got my card from the club that it's my 11th anniversary of being in Rotary, which means it's also Susan Martin's as well, because we both joined in January of 2010. Time flies.
Awesome. Congratulations, guys. 11 years. Wow. It's impressive. So you guys, when did you guys start? Was it the right after the club started, or how long was it?
6 months.
7
months. I mean, yeah, because it was January and it was May when of 09.
Awesome. Cool. Any other good news besides that 11 years, Angela?
The Packers are in the playoffs. Green Bay Packers, go. Home advantage. Woo!
I'm just happy the Cowboys are done. So
I know.
Are you going to Lambeau?
I wish. No, it's probably too cold.
Yeah. Woo.
all right, thank you, Angela. How about we go to Susan, since you're the other 11-year member?
Well, she already said that, so I'm not going to use mine on that. So I got 2, and in line with what Angela said, let's go Redskins. I mean, Washington football team, NFC champ. So
Please.
The bottom of the division.
Hey, take it. Take anything we can get.
Yeah.
And Xander is coming home this weekend, so I'm pretty excited about that. As long as it doesn't snow on the way, or get them, because they're coming home pretty late tomorrow night.
I did not know you're a Redskins fan. That was my territory.
Oh yeah, whole life.
That's not good.
2 of us against.
I liked you so much, Susan. So until you told me you're a Redskins fan.
Well, I know you're from. If you're a Dallas fan, then we're not talking anymore. So
right. All righty. So well, the Cowboys stink, so we can still talk. But, all right. So how about Rick Carter? Besides ping pong and bridge, what else? What other good news you have?
I was happy to have a good conversation with Josh yesterday. He's going to be joining me on Saturday at the food pantry for our clients, and we did Zoom training for Track It Forward.
Very cool. Thank you, Rick. Brian Williams, what about you?
Well, I'll stay on the football theme. Being a New York Football Giants fan, I'm proud of my Giants beating the Dallas Cowboys on the final day of the season and 7 straight losses. But if there are any Philadelphia Eagle fans out there, you should be ashamed of yourself. You set the league back about 30 years by what you did. That's all I'll say.
Getting to be a beating this morning, just like the Cowboys. All right, so Jerry Kephart. Let's not talk any Cowboys or anything like that. What do you got?
Number one, I don't know how the hell you are a Dallas Cowboys fan when you grew up in New York.
Right.
Because when you go to Texas, you are brainwashed.
How long were you in Texas?
I was in Texas 2 different times, 3 years in my early 20s, and then another 8 years. But I used to go to the game.
11 out of your 55 years.
Right. It's one thing to change your college allegiance if you go to the school, but
I know I was a Giants fan growing up, so sorry, Brian. But
very disappointing.
Well, I used to have front row seats on the 20-yard line of the Cowboys. So
we'll move past it.
All right.
Maybe.
Oh, back to good news. Sorry. First, Rick, have you noticed I filled in all my Track It Forward for this past year?
I had not.
You're
I'm very
welcome.
proud of you.
Jerry, is that for this year, 2021, or for 2020?
No, actually all the way back to 2020.
Wow. Good for you.
My good news is Cobra Kai season 3 premiered and it was very good.
Oh, God.
I'm only halfway through.
Okay. I binged it. It was pretty good. So,
Ellie came back and everything.
right, that was the best part.
I'm only halfway through.
Oh, sorry.
Oops,
Never mind then.
she didn't come back.
When does Ozark start?
I don't know.
I think it was delayed.
Yeah.
Like every
Andy's watching that now. He must be watching the old ones.
All righty, how about we move on to Melissa?
Yeah, Madison's in her final stretch. She only has 2 finals to do tomorrow. Luckily, they're teacher made, not state made, and it was just doing some research projects, so they were pretty easy finals, and going to end up with straight A's. Never had straight A's in her entire school career.
Yay!
So,
Congratulations,
so
Gil.
pretty proud of that, and
Yay.
managed to get her classes that she wanted for next semester, which is, her senior year. I mean, she's horticulture, ag, and weightlifting. So, I mean, if she can't pass them, we got some problems. And so easy peasy classes for the last part of her school year. So
Awesome. Well, thank you, Melissa. Mr. Arrington.
Good morning.
Any baseball updates or some other good news?
Well, yeah, actually, high school baseball practice started this week, so we're very optimistic that the season's going to happen, and we'll see if they have to wear a mask to play or not. But yeah, they started, one of those optional workouts this week. But Chase has been working out on the side anyhow. But he was excited to be back with his buddies on the baseball field, which has been a while. So
That's awesome.
yeah, hopefully season happens as normal, but we'll see.
Well, we're praying for that. We're praying for
Yeah, no doubt.
I know that's Gracie's big thing is soccer, so she doesn't want to miss her high school senior soccer. So
I know. Big year for a lot of kids. So
yeah. Well, cool. Anything else, Steve, or
just dealing with COVID. We've got some issues and just trying to work through it staff wise, and we'll see what we got to do.
Is that why you're home?
Oh, I planned to be home to here. I got to go do some stuff on the way in, and it's just, I'm south of the office now from where we're living, and I got to go south to get some pictures. And so I'm just going to work from home this morning and go get those and then go to the office. So.
cool. Well, thank you, Steve. How about we go to Laura Jazab?
So my good news is last night I went and ate at Crawford and Sons. I don't know how many of you have been there. But we didn't eat all the little biscuits that that you can get there. And so I'm making some for breakfast right now, and they're amazing. So everyone should go and try them. Like, I'm very excited. It's very good news that I have leftover biscuits.
Sounds healthy.
What are you putting on the biscuits?
I'm going to fry an egg and put it on top of the biscuit. It's a cheddar chive biscuit.
Oh, yum.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like to die for. I don't know if anybody went before and tried their rolls that were really good. These have replaced the rolls because the lady that used to make the rolls has moved to Utah, sadly. But this is a good replacement.
I want to go there. It's on my list of places to go.
Oh, yeah, definitely go.
Cool. Thank you, Laura. Shane Brown, what's going on in the YMCA world?
Oh, and before I forget, they're starting framing on our house today.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
whoops.
really good news.
Sorry, y'all. I was muted. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. What's going on, Shane?
All right, perfect. So good news is we are open. I think we were all waiting on the next update from the governor, which came yesterday, which is a continuation of where we were. So we get to stay open and continue to have people at the Y, which is good and exciting. And I've been sort of waiting all week for Thursday morning, hoping that we would be past some of the turmoil and other things. And so it feels really good to be at Thursday morning.
Cool. Well, that's good to hear. All right. Who did we leave out?
Me.
Heather. Yes. What's your good news, Heather?
I am, as before everybody got there, I told Mark, I am not only in the state of North Carolina, I'm in the town of Wake Forest. So yay, and have been for the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, welcome home.
Thanks.
All right. Did I get you, Josh? No, I think I need to get to you, Josh.
No, not yet. My good news is just started to get more involved around the community. Rick is kind of walking me through some of the stuff at the food pantry. Me and my wife donated there a few times, so it's good to get involved in something that we're already passionate about. So it's just good news for the start of the year. And if you guys have anything that you're passionate about and that you do, I can't find a better way to get to know you guys through.
Well done, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. All right, I think I'm the only one left. So my good news is, so we got a Mustang. I'm wearing a Mustang today because so Gracie got accepted at SMU with merit scholarship. So that was really exciting.
Oh.
So so we're excited. Not totally sure she's going to go there, but it's it's very high probability. But looking forward to getting through some of the college stuff because it is an emotional time. So, but I was glad to at least get the SMU because that was one of the top choices. So, so that's good news in our family. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Let's move along. All right. So. Okay, so we had our prayer, happy dollars. Okay, so it is updates. I wanted to say, let me just see if I can show you guys. I'm excited about this. I briefly touched on it last time, but oops. We have a new website. So it's actually been uploaded as of yesterday on our Wakefield site. So we're going to be making some tweaks to it, but I'm very excited about this because this makes us look a lot better, and we're going to be trying to integrate a lot of stuff in here so that it's easier for us to communicate. And so I thought it looks I think it looks really good. But just let me know your feedback so I can pass along. We actually have someone that's going to be handling our website and make sure it stays secure. Thank you, Shane, for noticing that. We didn't have security on our site before, so that's what's going on. And but the one thing I wanted to show everybody, so we have a meetings tab on here, and so on there is actually our calendar. It's very visible. So whenever you're wondering what's going on, just look at the calendar, and we actually have the recent meetings in there too. So like this meeting, I'll have that recorded and put on the site. So. So a lot of good things come from that, but I wanted to share that. The other thing I have is that we haven't done a fundraiser in a little while, but we'll probably talk about this after in our board meeting, but we have the Super Bowl grid. I promised the Kelly family will not sweep it this year. Hope maybe we'll win something, but we have that coming up. So I'll be working on that probably in the next week. And should be a lot of fun. I wish you guys luck. It's nice to win, and hopefully one of you guys will win as well. So she got that, and then the next thing was, well, I think we have some leadership training, but I think we want to point out a couple of things first. Do you want to? Yeah, why don't we go through this first? Do you want to touch on membership, Susan, or
can you share your screen again?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing it. There we go.
Oh, I didn't update the total. Darn it. It's actually supposed to be, if you can do math, it's 23. So for anybody that wasn't on here, welcome for from the time I updated this yesterday until now, I talked to Gary Odom. I don't know if y'all remember, he visited at Heritage. I've known him for a long time, do some work with him. He literally on the phone yesterday said, can I just join? Like, can you just sign me up? I'm like, no, I need you to fill this out. So I sent him the application again to fill out. So hopefully he'll have that back to me. I resent, Kephart, just so you know, I resent Sam his stuff again to his personal email with the application and everything. I hadn't heard back from him, but
I'll
and then
remind him.
yeah, and then so that's two potential. So those are two new members. That's looking pretty good. And then I did send everybody on our prospect list the information for today's Zoom too. So unfortunately, that might have just been a little late on my part. And then I need to kind of regroup on the social service club and kind of get that. Still need those applications. Hint, hint, Laura. So got to get on them. Yeah.
I'll get on Michael
so that we can get that moving too. But yeah, so 23 is what we're really at. Just ignore my error there.
Okay, that's good. I like to see the positive numbers.
And actually, right as of today, this was as of December, but the Y is moving from a corporate membership back to an individual membership. So that will go away that started January 1st. So, and just need to update that in the system.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just speaking, I know I haven't talked to you guys, but in terms of social next week, did you guys, Laura, J-Zab, do you guys have anything on a social?
I actually, sorry, Laura.
Go ahead. Go.
I was thinking, I hadn't talked to her about it, but I was actually thinking Crafty beer shop up at Lafayette Village.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
They actually have a great outdoor space too, and it looked like it's going to be sunny and about 50. So, you know, that inner courtyard that they have, I thought that would be a good option because their inside's kind of small, but I thought that would give us some outdoor option if just wear your food.
That's
okay,
good.
Cool.
Okay.
Is it
right.
Morgan's not on here, right? Is somebody going to text her for the newsletter?
I'll text her right now so I don't forget.
Okay.
And maybe when you guys, maybe you just put on the calendar too, just the location.
Yeah.
Okay. Service. So last month we had the Boys and Girls Secret Santa shopping, and we had that went well, I believe. We got the bell ring and the Try Your Food Ministry reverse advent calendar. So how did that go, Rick? The advent calendar. You're on mute, Rick. Okay.
It went very well. We thought everybody was going to drop things off on December 24th, but the last 2 or 3 days beforehand, it seemed like we had a great influx of food coming and being donated. So I suspect that everybody just came early.
Cool. Thanks, Rick. Is there any what about service opportunities that you guys are mentioning about Try Your Food Ministry? Anything upcoming for this month?
Well, let me go over a couple of things, but first, I have not received any information on the amount of money that we collected for the Salvation Army ringing at Walmart. I will follow up on that because I'm kind of tracking that from year to year, although last year was our first year. But we have to recognize that our numbers are probably going to be down a little bit this year because of COVID and the entire process of the bell ringing. So that's that. I have identified several different items for community service. Potentially, if people want to volunteer at Note in the Pocket next Thursday morning, since we don't have a club meeting, they are available from 9 to noon, probably at Crossroads Community Church, but maybe also in the donation center itself. For those who haven't done that particular service before, you have to register in advance. And so if you let me know, I need to tell Carol Trone that we're having people come, or they are open and have slots available on February 27th, which is a Saturday from 9 to noon. And I know a number of people have asked for doing those on a Saturday. So again, we need to reserve slots beforehand. So if you're interested in any of those dates, let me know soon. Secondarily, Activate Good has been doing some things, and they had something that I thought was kind of interesting, although it is in Durham, just not terribly near us, but they have a thing called Operation Bare Necessities, and it's an outdoor event, and it's through the month of January, and there are various dates from on Tuesdays and Thursdays primarily, where they are preparing 30,000 diapers and 5,000 female hygiene and incontinence products for use of 1,700 families throughout the area. And as best I can see from their site, it's just packaging those items for distribution. Most of the times are 9:30 to 11:30, although there are some 11:30 to 1 type time frames. And I can send those out to everybody so you can take a look at it. Last thing that I have is two things. Service hours for the month of December. Angela and Brian Williams and Melissa had the top 3 honors in number of hours recorded. And
Yay.
I didn't see anything that looked like those who did Secret Santa shopping had recorded their hours. It may have been hidden somehow, or maybe you just haven't gotten around to recording those yet. But that would be some service time that could be added to the total. So I'm hoping that in talking with Josh that some of our members, including Josh, who has already brought this up, will have some other ideas for service opportunities. And we need to figure out a way to communicate those and get people active and involved.
I think we're always open to new ideas. That's the idea. So.
That's why I did the diaper thing. We're all getting there.
Okay. Well, thank you, Rick. Okay. So, do you want to touch on this, Susan? On the foundation?
Sure. Yeah. So I sent to RI the contributions for the last 2 quarters because we do it semi-annually. So here's where everybody's at. Everybody's a little bit closer to the next one. So if you want to go ahead and people that I have listed on here, I think I added Laura, came in at 250, and then it says Walt because it's under his name for the Y. So I don't know how we handle that, but or who gets credit for that, for those contributions when it's a corporate membership like that. But so yeah, we got a couple people that are close to the next Paul Harris level of giving the next $1,000. So feel free to we can match that. I think we've got some points that we can use on that if you're interested. So talk to me. We can send it in whenever you want if you want to do that.
That means Steve Arrington's only $50 away.
Yeah.
Is that right? Wow. Good job, Steve.
Yeah. And then as far as our foundation, just a reminder that you can opt in to contribute $25 a quarter to that. That's in addition to the big RI foundation. That's the, our club's foundation. We have 8 members that have currently committed to that. So that's a great way for us to get additional money into the foundation to help support our projects in the community in that way too. And I just add that, once you let me know, I just add that to your quarterly invoice. So yeah.
I think that's great because I know I did that process. It's great to be able to have our own foundation and enlarge that. So
yeah,
definitely encourage people to think about that.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Oops. You want to touch on this
Still me.
too?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta minimize everybody so I can see it. So currently, just go over this real quick. The club is at the end of December is 19,248. Our net loss for half the year is at 2,900. Our foundation bank balance is at 9,770, and then our net income at the foundation. Oh, I didn't change that date either. God, somebody needs to proof this thing. It's $3,890. And that's as of December, but that is the end of the year. The foundation is a calendar year. So that's how we ended up the year for the foundation. And most of that was from Super Bowl grid. So everybody sell those grid boxes.
Right. I can feel it. Someone else besides the Kelly family is going to win. So you got to play to win. So I know my daughter Paige in college enjoyed the $1,000 she won. So
I should know this, Mark, but what's the how do we go about buying?
we'll be communicating very soon. So
let's get it out there because I intend to take some money this year.
I think you will, yeah. All right. Thank you. All right, let's see. All righty. Well, we already mentioned the 2 anniversaries, but congratulations again to Susan and Angela and the YMCA. Call that Shane Brown now, right? So, but Shane, you've been here a few years, right? But we'll call you the YMCA still, okay?
There you go. I think it's been a couple of years, but certainly Walt held it down before me.
Yep.
Right.
And then David McNeil before him.
Well, we thank you guys all for your membership. So thanks for being part of the club. Let's see. All right, so on to here's the big thing. So Susan, do you want to run? I shared the screen with everybody, or do you want to I'll keep it up on the screen and you can talk to it if you want to do.
Can you give me control over it?
Yeah, I think you should have access to share your screen.
All right, let me move this over here. Hold on one second. All right.
Brian, if you buy all the grids, you're sure to win.
I don't have that much money. I'm going to get involved, Rick.
All right. Can you see this? This says competencies.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. And just a reminder, this is on the RI website. If you log in to the big RI site and go into the Learning Center, all of these are out there. So, and this is a really good one to go back and do again. So this is on collaboration. And I thought it was pretty timely because I was thinking about it in respect to the Duck Splash and to any other, Super Bowl, anything that's coming up where we need to really pull together as a team. There's some really good points in here. So, regardless of, I'm saying that it's related to Rotary, and of course it is, but it really goes into all aspects of your life, including work, family, really whatever you do. And so some things that we're going to touch on today is talking about just, understanding what your personal strengths are and the strengths of others that you're trying to encourage to be on your team. Making sure that there's trust on that team, decision making. A big key with this is emotional intelligence. Understanding how to develop your empathy. So lots of different things on here. I'm gonna have to minimize y'all. So if you can't see me, or if you can't see me forward the slides, just let me know. So I think everybody knows the benefits of collaboration when we're working toward a common goal and just making sure that, everybody's really in the right seats. And it can be hard for some people, but it's very important to make sure that we are collaborating. Like I mentioned, like knowing your strengths. So I feel like I kind of preach about this maybe more at work about getting people in the right seat and understanding what you're good at and what you can contribute, and really, so just making sure that you're well aware of this. So like when you're, take a minute, and I'm just going to put this out there. Like I would challenge everybody, like after we're done today, like sit down, really think about what your skills and abilities are that you can contribute to Rotary, to your work, to your family, and just really try to make an effort this year to see what you can give back in that way. Can you add value to Rotary, whether it's, maybe you're great at building relationships and networking. Well, hey, I'd love to have you on the membership committee. Get out there in the community and talk to people, and, or maybe you're great at project management and you can, kind of help the visionary people, figure out how to get things done. So that type of thing. So just on that, just take some time and write down what you think your skills and abilities are for that. So how do we collaborate? I think the most important thing is really understanding that everybody on the team brings value, and being very conscious not to squash people, if they have, just hear everybody out, because you never know where that great next idea is going to come from. And so that kind of gets into, well, how do you do that? So emotional intelligence is huge. And I know y'all can't see me, right? I was going to show you. Has anybody, you might have read this. I read Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradbury. That is, I don't know. I guess you can see me. Have you ever seen this book? Can y'all see that book? Or can you just see my screen? Okay. Okay. I highly recommend that book. I've actually worked through it with some team members at work, just trying to work on certain aspects of it, but it's a very good way. It's not gonna be a quick fix. Like I think, I work through it every, year or so, just trying to make sure that I'm getting better at that. But I definitely highly recommend that because, with emotional intelligence, you're dealing with self-awareness, social awareness. That's the key. I think if you really want to succeed, it's all about understanding how you respond and what triggers your emotions for that. So, and talking about emotions here. So, you've got primary emotions. Of course, these are the things that you feel first. It's just a matter of, if you're feeling fear or your initial response is to lash back. Emotion, being in check with your emotions and having that self-awareness helps you respond in a better way that's, better really for everybody. Sorry, let me get that. So really here's what we're looking at from emotional intelligence standpoint. So self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation to actually do these things, empathy and social skills. So really understanding where your emotions are coming from and, recognizing what you can control or change. I'll be honest, I count to 10 a lot before I respond to some things, just because it gives me that time to really think about, am I reacting emotionally? Like this says, leading when you're in those situations, you're working in it can be challenging. And you really have to be able to recognize those emotions, and self-awareness is really learned. It's funny if you take the time and just think back about how you respond to certain situations, you do learn a lot about yourself, and how you understand your responses in certain situations, and you can make those changes recognizing that, hey, I'm entering this situation where I typically respond this way. What can I do differently to really be more effective? All right, let's see. So self-awareness is what I was talking about. Just, if you feel frustrated, this is a great example. If you're feeling frustrated when you're walking into a meeting, that's going to reflect on your team or your, let's say you're getting ready to just have a conversation with your family. They're going to feel that, and you're going to come across with less patience. You're not going to appreciate things that they have to say. And just taking a few minutes before you go into that to understand, hey, this is going to project onto this, and that's not the result that I want from this interaction. So really just that self-awareness is key there. And then self-regulation, just, keeping yourself in check on your responses. And this is not, and I know that everybody knows this, like emotional intelligence is not about being fake or having some false persona about what you're trying to present. It's really about just trying to respond in the best way for everybody. So if you feel like, oh, this is a bunch of, whatever, just trying to be fake and not really say what I'm trying to say, it's not that, it's just trying to respond in a way that's the most effective for that. So this is, some more examples right here. Hold on. So let's say, like, this is, I think, really good. Like, you're startled by a team member and your initial response is fear. So I don't know what they did, but they scared you. So you may turn around and lash out at them, but then, just check that, just say, wait a minute, what did they do? And actually, talk to them about it. So like and I think this is a big thing with everything that goes on today, is people respond emotionally and things kind of spiral down, to say the least. But effective way, is people just need to be respectful and just communicate when things bother them. So, it can be right away, say, look, I appreciate that you think you're funny and, that you startled me or whatever, but I really wish that you wouldn't do that. Just have that conversation so everybody's on the same page and you can move on. So that's kind of the same thing. So so just, when you're leading and you're competent at regulating your response and recognizing the emotions in others and being able to effectively communicate, it just makes for a better experience. And you're going to find that your team, whether it's Rotary work or family, is going to be a lot more responsive to you with that. Now with emotional intelligence, other areas, so empathy, I think this can be hard. And it's funny, Heather will remember this. We went to a training at Camp Siegel a couple of years ago, and we did this whole study on empathy. And the one point that I'll make here is that people said the worst thing that you can do when you're trying to empathize with somebody and feel, make sure that you understand like the shoes that they're in, never say, well, at least it's not this, but that's like the worst thing that you can say. So that was my big takeaway from that training. The other thing is people that can show empathy and can listen and understand the position of the other person, it really builds trust. And that is so key when you're in a leadership position, to be able to have that trust. And then just really being able to anticipate and recognize the needs of others. So if you like at work, maybe feel like somebody's completely overwhelmed, they're struggling, just being able to sit down and listen to them and anticipate, hey, look, I noticed that you are struggling and here's some things that we can do. Instead of them crashing and burning and then you picking up the pieces at the end of that. So ways to develop your empathy, learn something new. And here's my takeaway on this slide that I thought that was so good. All these things right here, Rotary gives you the opportunity for every single one of these. So learning something new, maybe it's, volunteering on the committee, maybe it's running the duck splash, whatever it may be, it gives you that opportunity to learn that. Different culture, the more you get involved with Rotary, the more opportunity you have for different cultures. There's just so many, like visiting other clubs, visiting clubs internationally, examining your biases, you'd be surprised at some of these biases that we have. And then feedback, just, getting feedback from people about, how you respond and how you are in those relationships is very important too. So I'm going to skip. So motivation, of course, is key in trying to get to the level that you want to be as far as emotional intelligence, but social skills too, your ability to build and maintain relationships. And that's another opportunity, that we have with Rotary, that we have with work, that we have with community service. These are all opportunities to build our social skills and develop empathy on that. So all of that ties in. I'm going to skip a few of these because I'm watching the clock on here. So y'all can go back and do this one on your own. Team leadership and collaboration is very key in project management. Again, you can download these. These are all project management related. So setting goals, again, not just Rotary and work, but can be in your family too. If y'all have things that you're trying to do, making collaborative decisions. And the other point that I want to make here real quick, and then I got another book. So can y'all see this one?
Advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody, I'm reading this again right now. The one thing that I want to say about this is conflict is good and it needs to be respectful. You don't need to be taking personal jabs at anybody, but conflict is really the key to coming up with new ideas and new decisions. Like I started at work, I wasn't really getting the feedback that I was looking for on some things that we were trying to do. So I started telling them that your silence is acceptance. So I'm going to assume that if you do not tell me or even participate in this conversation, then you're fully on board as far as I'm concerned. And let's just say I'm getting a lot more feedback from that, just telling them that, hey, we need to, really tear this down and figure out what works and what doesn't, because that's the only way that we're going to get better, is having that conflict. When everybody just shakes their head and then walks away and bitches about it is not really what you want to have happening. So anyway, sorry, I forgot this was recorded. And then again, communication is the key to collaboration. So making sure that we have open communication in any project or anything that you're working on. You definitely want to make sure that you're having that frequent communication, you're tracking status, you're making sure that everybody's bought in and that everybody feels responsibility and is making sure that they're doing what they said they were going to do. I always like to say, let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. Don't tell me yes and drop the ball. So I'm just going to skip a couple of these. All right. And that's it. So we'll just reflect on, making sure that we're aware of what everybody's skills and abilities are, what they can contribute, the value that everybody brings, making sure we have good communication, that there's self-awareness, there's emotional intelligence, and everybody keeps talking and working toward the goal. So I'm going to stop sharing. If y'all have any questions, let me know. I know I go through that kind of fast because I feel like I only have like 10 minutes, but.
No, that was great, Susan. I know, because like you talked about emotions and fear. Like, I mean, if anything from 2020, I think there's a lot of that influenced a lot of what we did, even as a club, in our personal lives. And so I know how impactful that is. I mean, that's like even within my investments, like when I help people, it's all about emotions. And so, but I think that was a great presentation. Thank you.
What was the second book, Susan?
It's called The Advantage. It's Pat Lencioni.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that one's really good. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That was great.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Susan, or anybody want to just talk about anything about what we just heard?
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome. You're really good. I just go on the RI website and go through it yourself. I think you'll find a lot of value in that.
No, that's great. Very timely too. That was good. Okay. All right, thanks, everybody. So how about we how we Susan, since you're a presenter there, you get to do the four-way test.
Oh, thanks. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're going to adjourn. I can get my bell ring. But for the people on the board, remember we have the board meeting after. So I'm going to end by saying ding ding because my bell is not showing up. But I want to thank Susan. That was great. It was great, everybody. Looking forward to a new year. But 2020 is hindsight, right? Is what they say. So looking forward to some good things this year. And thanks, everybody. Hope you all have a good week. And we'll see you at the social, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Are we just staying on this call or?
Yep. So pretty much, I guess, Josh, you can drop. And
all right. See you, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Susan, that was great.
Thanks, Shane. I'll see you later today.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Mark,
well,
Mark, can I take 3 minutes and get a refresher coffee?
Absolutely. Want me to take a break for a second? I'm going to turn off my Zoom live and all that.
We're staying on this Zoom, though, right?
We're staying on the Zoom. We're going to end the